Hello students, hope you are fine, enjoying good health, doing your studies. Students, today we are starting a new chapter, flow of liquids. First topic of this chapter is ideal liquid. There are two conditions for a liquid to be ideal. The two conditions are zero compressibility and zero viscosity. As the name suggests, zero compressibility means when pressure is applied on the liquid, there should not be any change in volume. When pressure is applied on a liquid, suppose you are having some liquid in a cylinder provided with a piston. Now piston is pressed and you are not finding any change in volume. Then we say that compressibility of this liquid is zero and such liquid will be ideal. And the second condition is zero viscosity. Students, when liquid flows, we can imagine different layers of the liquid are flowing over each other. In such condition, relative motion between two layers in contact is opposed, very similar to friction. And this opposition of relative motion is called viscosity. If liquid is ideal, there should not be any viscosity, means there should not be any opposition of relative motion. So there are two conditions for a liquid to be ideal: zero compressibility and zero viscosity. Now next topic is streamlined flow and turbulent flow. I just told that when liquid flows, we can divide the liquid into different layers or different streams. Let us suppose one stream. There are many particles of the liquid are flowing. If all the particles passing from a particular point P are following same path, then the flow is called streamlined. I am showing two particles A and B. A passes from P and follows this path, then B passes from P and follows same path. So all particles are following same path, then this type of flow is called streamlined flow. In second case, when particles are passing from point P, one particle is going in one direction, other particle is going in other direction. Means after passing from point P, different particles are going in different directions. This type of flow is called turbulent flow. Turbulent flow or streamlined flow is guided by one equation. The equation is Vc is equal to K eta upon rho d. Eta is called coefficient of viscosity, rho density of the liquid, and d is diameter of the tube in which liquid is flowing, and Vc is critical speed. I make you understand better. Suppose some liquid is flowing through a tube and speed of the liquid is being controlled by you. Initially you are having low speed. Then you will see that all the particles are following same path as their preceding particles. So flow is streamlined. Now increase speed gradually. At certain speed you will see that particles start following different path. The maximum speed up to which flow of liquid was streamlined is called critical speed. Suppose initially you are having speed 1 meter per second, flow is streamlined, then 2 meter per second, again streamlined, 3 meter per second, again streamlined. Similarly, you keep on increasing. As soon as you reach 5 meter per second, you start seeing that path of particles is splitting. Means particles are following different paths. Means up to 5 meter per second, flow was streamlined. So 5 is the maximum speed up to which flow is streamlined. So this speed is called critical speed. And critical speed is given by this formula. Now next topic is viscosity. I just told that viscosity is property of liquid, flowing liquid, by virtue of which relative motion between two layers in contact is opposed. The concept is very similar to friction, and this property of liquid is called viscosity. See, some liquid is flowing through a tube. We can divide the liquid into different layers or different streams. When liquid flows, one layer is in relative motion with respect to other layer. So a viscous force develops which opposes relative motion, and this property of liquid is called viscosity. Keep in mind, the layer which is in contact of the tube is always at rest. Layer in contact of tube is always at rest. As you move from tube to center of the tube, you will find that velocity of streams or velocity of liquid is increasing. Students, now let us understand coefficient of viscosity. I have just told that when liquid flows through a tube, we can imagine different layers or different streams of the liquid are in relative motion with respect to each other. The layer which is in contact of the tube will have zero velocity. As you are moving up, you will find velocity of layers are increasing. Again here it becomes zero. So different layers are shown. We are taking two layers, each of area A. Think the figure in 3 dimensions. Each of area A. This layer is at height V from the tube, and upper one height y plus dy. Velocity of this V, velocity is v plus dv, slightly more than this. So as we are moving away from the tube, we are finding certain change in velocity. The rate of change of velocity with respect to distance is called velocity gradient. I repeat, rate of change of velocity with respect to distance or separation is called velocity gradient. So velocity gradient is equal to change in velocity upon separation. To find change in velocity, V plus dV minus V. To find separation, Y plus dy minus Y. So it becomes dV upon dy. Its unit is per second. Simple. dV meter per second, dy meter cancel, so it becomes per second. Now, when these two layers are in relative motion, viscous force opposes relative motion between the two layers. It is found that viscous force depends on two factors: area of layer and velocity gradient between the two layers. Viscous force is directly proportional to area and directly proportional to velocity gradient. When sign of proportionality is removed, one constant is added. This constant is spelled as eta and it denotes coefficient of viscosity. Coefficient of viscosity determines viscosity of a liquid. More the value of eta, more the viscosity is. Means if value of eta is more for a liquid, the liquid is more viscous, and vice versa. So eta is constant called coefficient of viscosity. You are knowing units of different quantities coming in this equation. So by putting all the units, you can calculate unit of eta, or you can calculate by dimension method, and the unit comes out to be kg per meter second. Another common unit is pies, and 1 kg per meter second is equal to 10 pies. So this is all about in today's class. I suppose you enjoyed and could understand. Best of luck, keep studying, be safe. Thank you, students.